Hello my dear children, I hope you all are doing very well. I welcome you all to our YouTube channel Nirja Education, and if you have not subscribed our channel yet, please do it quickly. So today we are going to start a second chapter, polynomials, and in that we are going to discuss relationship between zeros and coefficient of a polynomial. If you have seen my previous parts of this videos, in that we have seen about how to find zeros of linear polynomial in detail. Now zeros of a linear polynomial ax plus b is minus b upon a. So from here we can say like zeros of linear polynomial is related with its coefficient. Now we will try to answer the question which raised in first part of this chapter. Are the zeros of quadratic polynomial related with its coefficient? For that I have taken one polynomial, quadratic polynomial p of x is equal to 2x square minus 8x plus 3. This is quadratic polynomial. Why? Because the degree, that means highest power of variable, is 2 over here. So now as you have learnt in your class 9th how to factorize quadratic polynomial by splitting its middle term. Here our middle term is minus 8 upon x. That means we need to split this minus 8x in such a way that the sum of that number should be minus 8x and the product will be 6 multiplied by 2x square is equal to 12x square. Now let's find two numbers. If we are going to take minus 6x and minus 2x, see over here, the sum of minus 6x minus 2x is equal to minus 8x, and if we are going to multiply with this two number, then 6 to the 12x square. Minus minus will convert plus while we are doing product of the numbers, right. So now we are going to put minus 6x minus 2x in place of this middle term minus 8x. Rest of the first and last term will remain the same. So let's write 2x square. In place of this we need to write this minus 6x minus 2x plus 6. Now if you see this very carefully, you can find this. We can take 2x common from here. If I have taken 2x common, then what left over here? X minus 3. Minus from here also we can take minus 2 as a common. So if I am going to take minus 2, what will left? X minus 3. So we can write further 2x minus 2 and x minus 3. Again I am going to take 2 as common from this first term. What will left? X minus 1 and x minus 3. So from this we can say like that, if this whole term x minus 1 is equal to 0, then our polynomial p of x will turn into 0. Either there is second possibilities, if x minus 3 will become 0, then also our polynomial will turn into zeros. And for the value of x, if we are going to get p of x is equal to 0, then that x we can tell as zeros of polynomial. Now let's see what happen. If x minus 1 is equal to 0, that means x will be 1. If x minus 3 will be 0, that means the value of x is 3. So here we got two zeros of this quadratic polynomial. First one is 1 and another one is 3. Why? Because by putting x as 1 over here, we are getting our p of x is equal to 0, and by putting 3 also over here, we are getting our p of x as 0. So we can tell x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 3. That means 1 and 3 both are 0 of this quadratic polynomial. Now let's see the relationship between these zeros and the coefficient of a quadratic polynomial. So just now we got two zeros of this polynomial 2x square minus 8x plus 6, and which are 1 and 3. Now we are going to see about what is the relation between zeros of quadratic polynomial and its coefficient. So for that, first we are going to see sum of zeros. Our zeros are 1 and 3. Let's do addition of that and we will get 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. If I am going to rewrite this 4, I can write as minus 8 upon 2. Minus will be plus, 8 upon 2 is equal to 4. So we can rewrite this 4 like this also. And if you notice carefully in this polynomial, minus 8 is our coefficient of x. So in place of minus 8, we can write like that coefficient of x. Let this minus will be as it is. In place of minus 8, I am writing coefficient of x. And 2 is coefficient of x square in our polynomial. So in place of 2, we can write like coefficient of x square. X square. Now let's do the multiplication of zeros 1 and 3. 1 multiplied by 3 is equal to 3. If I am going to rewrite this 3, I can write as 6 upon 2. 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. Now again, if you are going to look very carefully over here, you can find this 6 is a constant term in our polynomial. So here in place of 6, we can write as constant term. Constant term. And as we have discussed, this 2 is coefficient of x square. So my dear friends, this is the relationship between zeros of polynomial and their coefficient, right? As we have discussed in previous part, quadratic polynomial will have maximum 2 zeros, and if you want to find 2 zeros of quadratic polynomial, you can do the sum of zeros and product of zeros. This way you all are able to identify the relationship between zeros of quadratic polynomial and its coefficient. So by just one polynomial, we can't decide this is going to be happen in every case. Let us see another example of quadratic polynomial. So now let us see another example of quadratic polynomial. Here I have taken quadratic polynomial p of x is equal to 3x square plus 5x minus 2. Now what we need to do? We need to do the factorization of this polynomial in such a way that the sum of middle term will be 5x and product will be 6x square. Now let's find that two terms. If I am going to take 6x minus x. 6x minus x will be 5x, and if we are going to multiply these two terms, 6x minus x, it will be minus 6x square. So in place of 5x, we are going to write 6x minus x. From this first two terms, I am going to take 3x as a common. What will left? X plus 2. Here I am going to take minus 1 as a common, then x plus 2. We can write 3x minus 1, x plus 2. That means if 3x minus 1 will be 0, then we are going to get p of x as 0. Or if x plus 2 is equal to 0, then also this p of x will become 0. So here we are having two possibilities, either 3x minus 1 is equal to 0 and another one is x plus 2 is equal to 0. If 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, then we can conclude that x is equal to 1 by 3, and here x is equal to minus 2. So here we got two zeros for this quadratic polynomial, and which are 1 by 3 and minus 2. Now let's do the sum of these two zeros. Sum of zeros. We are having two zeros, 1 by 3 plus minus 2. And if we are going to do sum of this, you will get answer as minus 5 upon 3. If you have noticed over here, phi is a coefficient of x. So I am putting this minus sign as it is, and in place of phi, I am going to write coefficient of x. And this 3 is coefficient of x square over here. So in place of this 3, we can write coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x square. Now let's do the product of these two zeros. If we are going to do product of zeros, 1 by 3 multiplied by minus 2. So we will get the answer as minus 2 upon 3. And if you have seen, this minus 2 is constant term in our polynomial. So in place of minus 2, we can write like this, constant term, and 3 is a coefficient of x square. So my dear students, after seeing this example also, we can conclude like that this is the way zeros and the coefficient of quadratic polynomials are related with each other. We have seen first example, in that also we got the same, by another example also we got the same. So now let's derive a common, a general form for quadratic polynomial. So now we are going to see about relationship between zeros and coefficient of a quadratic polynomial. In general, if alpha and beta are the zeros of the quadratic polynomial p of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a not equal to 0, then you know that x minus alpha and x minus beta are the factors of p of x. This means if we are going to factorize this polynomial, we are going to get x minus alpha and x minus beta as the factor of this polynomial. And x minus alpha and x minus beta are the factors of this polynomial. Then we can write this polynomial as a product of its factor, and same I have done over here. I have written ax square plus bx plus c is equal to k x minus alpha and x minus beta, the multiplication of its factor. Now let's solve this further. This k is constant. Here I am going to put k as it is now. Let's multiply these two terms. First I am going to multiply x with this whole term. X multiplied by x will become x square minus x multiplied by beta is equal to minus x into beta. Now it's turn for alpha. Minus alpha into x, minus minus will become plus alpha into beta. Now let's solve it further. From here I am going to take minus x as a common. Then what will left? Alpha plus beta. And this term as it is. Now let's multiply k with all these terms. First will be kx square minus k alpha plus beta x plus k into alpha and beta. Now we are going to compare this term with our polynomial ax square plus bx plus c. And if we are going to compare this first term kx square and ax square, you will find that a is equal to k, right? The coefficient of b, then we will write like this, b is equal to k into alpha plus beta. And if we are going to compare this term, we will get c is equal to k alpha into beta. So now we are having the value of a, b and c over here. So we are going to find the value of alpha plus beta and alpha into beta from these equations. Let's find, if I am going to write the value of alpha plus beta, I can write like this, minus b upon k. And if I am going to write the value of alpha into beta, I can write like this, c upon k. But here a is equal to k. So in place of k, we can write a also, minus b upon a and c upon a. And if you have noticed this, over here this b is a coefficient of x. So in place of alpha plus beta, we can write like this, minus coefficient of x upon this a is the coefficient of x square. So in place of a we can write like coefficient of x square, and for alpha into beta we can write like this, c is a constant term over here. So in place of c we can write constant term, and in place of a we can write coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x square. So my dear student, this is the general form of relationship between zeros and coefficient of quadratic polynomial, right? This way the coefficient and the zeros of polynomials are related with each other. You need to remember, if you are going to add the zeros, then you are going to get minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of x square, as you can see over here. And if you are going to multiply the zeros of any quadratic polynomial, you will get constant term upon coefficient of x square. So if you want to remember very clearly, you can conclude like that, coefficient of x square will remain same in the denominator for addition and multiplication both. But for addition you need to write the coefficient of x in numerator, and for multiplication you need to write the constant term in the numerator. So my dear student, let's see some of the example on the basis of this. Let's solve this example. Find the zeros of the quadratic polynomial x square plus 7x plus 10 and verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient. Just now we have seen. Let's take the first quadratic polynomial. Here it is given x square plus 7x plus 10. Now we need to do is, we need to factorize this polynomial by splitting its middle term such a way that addition is equal to 7x and multiplication is equal to 10x square. So if I am going to write 5x and 2x, the addition of 5x and 2x will become 7x, and if we are going to multiply 5 multiplied by 2, 10, x multiplied by x, x square. So in place of 7x we can write x square plus 5x plus 2x plus 10 as it is. From this term we can take x as a common, x plus 5, and from this we can take 2 as a common, then x plus 5. So here we are having x plus 2 and x plus 5. That means if this term is going to be 0, then p of x is equal to 0, or else if this term is going to be 0, then p of x will become 0. Let's take x plus 2 is equal to 0, and if x plus 2 is equal to 0, then we are going to get the value of x is equal to minus 2. Second one is x plus 5 is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 5 over here. Now we are having our two zeros of this quadratic polynomial, which are minus 2 and minus 5. Now as we have seen, we are going to do addition, that means we are going to do sum of zeros. Let's do it. We are having two zeros, minus 2 minus 5, and sum of this will become minus 7. As you have seen here, 7 is coefficient of x. Minus 7 you can write also like minus 7 upon 1, and 7 is coefficient of x. Let put minus sign as it is. In place of 7 we can write coefficient of x, and 1 is coefficient of x square over here. Here you can see only x square is there, it is not having any coefficient, so we can consider coefficient as 1. So here we can write coefficient of x square. Now after the sum we need to do the product of zeros. minus 2 multiplied by minus 5, and minus 2 multiplied by minus 5 is equal to 10, and this 10 we can write as 10 upon 1. So as you have seen in this polynomial, 10 is nothing but constant term in our polynomial. So in place of x we can write like this: constant term upon 1 is a coefficient of x square. So my dear student, this way you can find zeros of any quadratic polynomial, and also you can verify the relationship between their zeros and coefficient. So now let us see one another example. Find a quadratic polynomial, the sum and product of whose zeros are minus 3 and 2 respectively. My dear students, till now we have seen how to find zeros from given quadratic polynomial, but here we need to find the quadratic polynomial from its zero. Let's see how to do this. Here I am going to write one quadratic polynomial. P of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Suppose zeros of these polynomials are alpha and beta, and if alpha and beta are the zeros of this polynomial, we can write the sum of this polynomial alpha plus beta is equal to minus b upon a, minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of x square, and we can write the product alpha into beta as c upon a, where c is constant term and a is coefficient of x square. Now in the question they have given the value of sum and it is minus 3, and the value of product is 2. We can write this minus 3 as minus 3 upon 1 and 2 as 2 upon 1. That means if we are going to consider the value of a is equal to 1, then we are going to get the value of b as 3 and value of c is equal to 2. Now let's put this value of a, b and c in this polynomial. A is equal to 1, that means x square. In place of b we need to write 3 plus 3x plus c is equal to 2. So here we got polynomial, the sum of whose zeros are minus 3 and product is 2 respectively. So my dear student, this way you can find any quadratic polynomial if zeros are given. So we are going to conclude our session for today over here. I hope you all have understood very well what is the relationship between zeros and coefficient of quadratic polynomial. We'll see you in next class.